in when she comes.
Okay.
Awesome. Hello. Welcome to my channel, those of you tuning in. And I have Luann with me. Hello, Luann.
Hello.
And Luann wanted to do the Cornucopia with me. And can you introduce yourself and tell us what you do on your channel? On your YouTube channel.
On my channel, I do Misfits box unpacking.
What's Misfits box?
Misfits box is you get organic vegetables that are delivered to me weekly. You don't have to do it weekly. You can do it bi-weekly but it's a subscription and it gets delivered right to my house. And I think I save money. And because it's fruits and vegetables. And because I get it, I end up eating better food, you know?
Yeah.
So it's an amazing thing. And I'm pretty certain it's really saved a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you still buy vegetables, or is that like all you use for vegetables since you get it?
For the most part, I do, but I do run out of some things. So we eat a lot of salads. So I see how much salad is delivered, and then I base it on that. So I know that I can just run to the store and get some greens is what I do. But now I'm making a lot of sprouted greens. I have some sprouting right now.
Okay. Oh, I want to know how to do that. You should do a video about that.
Oh, Cindy, it's saved so much money. Megan, can you hand me that? My daughter will hand me it. But so yeah, it sprouts. So I have some sprouting right now.
I want to do that. My son was doing that.
It's
so you just put that like on top of your salad and stuff.
Oh, by the time these are done sprouting,
push it over a little bit. Yeah.
By the time it's done sprouting, the greens will be all the way up here, and so they'll be about here. So and this is amazing. So and this probably
I need to know how to do that.
Okay, I'll make a video on it.
Where do you get the seeds for it?
So the seeds, you can get them in a lot of different places. I bought them on Amazon, and then I also ordered them from some seed sprouting places. But honestly, this is the best blend that I've found. I mean, I've got them from Greenleaf, the really highly recommended places. And this particular blend, I get a lot of greens. And I don't know, when you watch my Misfits, you'll notice that I say I like radishes a lot. There's radish seeds in here, so you get that real big tang. Oh, I love it.
Neat.
So I can share that
too. Yeah. Oh, that is so awesome. So now I have my awesome VIP Kid shirt I got from Mindy, and you work for VIP Kid, right?
I do. I work.
That's how I met you.
Yeah, that's how we met.
For VIP Kid?
Yeah, well, I've been working for VIP Kid for about a year. I started in July. My field is mental health, and I just needed to I needed to get away from it for a little while. When you're in that field, it can get kind of dangerous at times, and so there was a period of time when a lot of pretty weird things were happening, and so I thought, I need to get out of this for a while. So I decided to do VIP. Yeah. I actually just upfront just quit. I had a situation that was life-threatening, and it's like, I'm done.
Wow.
I'm out. Wow. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I do? And then I all of a sudden, I'll do VIP Kid.
So do you think VIP Kid is good for your mental health?
It's not good for my sleep schedule.
Oh, that's true.
That's the only thing.
It's good for me though. It kind of gets my mind off of things, and just, you feel like you're just kind of playing, and I don't know.
I just love some of these
kids. I love it.
Oh, there's Evelyn.
It's Evelyn. Yes. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, it's good to see you. So we're going to get started. Are you going to make the cornucopia, or are you just going to watch?
I'm just going to watch.
Okay. I thought, with a baby in your hand, that would be a little hard. I have this.
Show me.
Go ahead.
Okay.
So this is one I made on Friday with one of my students. I actually made this one twice because I'm doing a class right now.
Sorry.
Just so you know. You had no idea.
Too.
So yeah, I made this with my student for OutSchool. Outschool.com is another teaching platform. And have you taught on OutSchool yet, Luann?
Oh, I did. Oh, yeah. I have OutSchool
yeah
today. Right now I'm kind of excited about it because I decided, let me get wherever I'll be in the middle. So I really miss mental health, but I didn't want to get back into it. So I am developing classes in that thing. So now I have The Incredible Brain is a series that I'm making about the senses, but the senses are based on, it's the brain and what happens when you're stressed. That's a big thing. But then you can use your senses to help yourself calm. So when I worked in that field, I worked in crisis homes with children. And so that is a lot of the things that I did. So now, so I started with that. I've just got I have one more to make, the sense of touch. But now what I'm doing is when I have these classes about the brain, parents ask for private classes. So now I work with people. So today I had, so I'm doing private classes with people just so that they can, because I love making mental health toolboxes, like specific, more, like not the same. So
I could use that myself.
There you go.
Actually, my daughter has a foster child, and there's a whole dynamic to that, Yeah. So she's always like trying to figure out, how do I figure this out, to meet the needs, and still, myself. Everybody has their own issues to deal with too. So
right.
So hello, Evelyn, and you teach on VIP Kid and OutSchool. Huh?
Yeah. I came to meet Luann because I've never met her before. Hi, Luann.
Yeah, awesome.
I talked to you online, but I've never seen you face to face.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Yeah.
So this is a craft that I love because I love this time of year where we just give thanks, and this is kind of, it looks kind of bad because I had to do it twice to make my kid happy. But once you actually, this looks pretty cool. Once you make rolls and you can put it on a big platter and then just put your rolls around it, or you could do like celery and carrots and some dip and just kind of put this out for kind of an hors d'oeuvre type of thing when people are coming, or before the dinner. If it's not quite ready, you can, or I've seen it with nuts or fruit or anything like that. But I just like the symbol of thanks and Thanksgiving. And a friend of mine, she has done this every year for many years, and she actually makes them to sell at this time of year. So people will buy the thing from her, and then she's like really busy right now this time of year, just making all kinds of goodies for people. She loves to cook, and she's amazing. And she's the one that kind of told me about it. And so I've done it in my high school for the high school kids. And they were like, what is that? But once they did it, it's many of them, it's a tradition now. Every year they want to make it, and it's inexpensive, but it kind of means a lot, and people just love it, and it smells good. I've been smelling this thing. So I just wanted to, review what we need to get started. So what we're going to do is we're going to get some kind of foil. I like to get some hard type of foil thing to make a cone, some aluminum foil. And then you also need nonstick cooking spray, which I'm not sure I did what I did with it. I'll have to look for it in a minute. Nonstick cooking spray, which you usually spray over the form once you make the cone. And then you're going to use raw bread dough. So this is just regular white dough that we just stuck this in the bread machine, but I have used like wheat flour, and it kind of gives it a little bit, even a more kind of solid texture. Mm-hmm. So any kind of bread dough will work. You could even use the kind of bread dough that comes in like the cans and just use that to put over your form. So what you're going to do is you make your cone out of the foil, spray it with your non-stick cooking spray, And then you're going to, what I do is I roll out the dough and kind of cut strips and kind of put that over my mold. And then you can kind of make it as creative as you want. And then after you get it all formed, you're going to put it on the counter for about an hour.
Oh, to rise some more?
We heat with wood. So they're bringing in wood.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so they're bringing in the wood so we could be warm tonight.
Life still has to happen.
What's that?
Life still has to happen.
That's right. Yeah, this is my door. You come right in the side, so it's like I have a dining area here. My kitchen is right there, so it's like I don't have a private kitchen area. So it's Grand Central Station. Usually, like for out school, it's a little quieter in here. But like Friday, I had a class, or no, when was it? Last week sometime. Tuesday, my daughter came, and she said she was coming, but I figured it would be a while. She came right when the class started. So I'm like, you guys can stay outside for a while. But anyway, so yeah, so you can sit on your counter for about an hour once you get it all formed. Then you're going to put an egg wash over it. Like it's going to rise a little bit. And then you put an egg wash. That's what gives you the brown. And then you can bake it. Now, usually I say bake it at like 350 for a half hour. It'll be cooked at that point. But if you cook it at 400 for like 45 minutes, it will make it so this thing is like,
rock hard.
It's not going to break. It's not going to be something you really want to eat, but it won't fall apart. You know, I've made them and not cooked them as long. I accidentally left it in the oven, and I'm like, that actually worked better because now I've had them. You know, I'm like, duh, I should have just cooked it longer, and then it's perfect. And so I do have chicken, so afterwards I could just, you know, put some water on it, it'll soften up, and throw this out to the chickens, and they'll eat it. So, yeah. But it's probably not something you're gonna want to eat, you know, after. But like what I do is I'll make the cornucopia ahead of time and then make the rolls like that morning. And then I'm going to my daughter's house. So, you know, that's usually all I have been cooking. So, and she just got a new stove and everything. So I'm like, okay, now you have no excuse. You're going to be cooking. So we can go ahead and get started. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this kind of into a cone. And I usually make it.
Just make a bunch of balls.
Do it like that too, any way you want. And you just need to make sure you do grease it well, because you don't want to get. If you cook it as long as you cook I cook this one, you should be fine. You just don't want it to where it sticks in there and then you can't get it out. So yeah, so Luann said, were you going to put parchment paper on the outside of it, you said?
Yeah, I'll try that.
Try that.
Yeah, I don't have any. I have butter. But
that's the advantage of doing this with ladies who have been around. Like I've always taught teenagers and they have no idea what they're doing. But other people that have, you know, have some experience, have more ideas that could be more creative. So that's good. Oh goodness. Can you guys like go easy? Like I think they're getting enough wood for the entire week. They haven't gotten that much wood all day.
Based on maybe
yeah, that's great. So you can make like, you know, some of them online I've seen, they have like a wide mouth to it. You can make it, and obviously it's going to be a little bit bigger than what your cone actually is, like this. Okay. So there's really nothing that can get it wrong, you know. You just kind of keep working with it, kind of like this foil is not the greatest.
So
probably, probably dollar store. Yeah.
Have you made a lot of these without school so far?
I have not. I had one class on Friday and I have another one tomorrow. And that's all I have for that. And then you guys. I can only make so many. I'm like, what am I going to do with all these cornucopias? But I was hoping to do more, like have more people doing it. But the girl that I have in my baking class, I have an ongoing baking class. And she's like so awesome. She's just like a natural baker. She acts like she doesn't know what she's doing. But then when she does it, it's amazing. So I was like, I love students like that.
Yeah. She made a pizza crust for the first time. It wasn't.
Oh, good.
It was from the Pampered Chef pizza mix. So.
Yeah. Oh, from the mix. Okay, because they have a recipe too. For pizza dough. It's probably on their website, but that's the pizza dough that I always use. It's just from scratch, just flour, honey. I don't remember, but you can, it's really easy and it's a lot cheaper than buying the dough. I don't know how much the dough costs, but flour isn't inexpensive when so like when we started the pandemic, I got a big, huge thing of flour. 50-pound bag of flour.
Well, I was in the grocery store line with people buying, like, it was back when I was questioning, why are people buying water and toilet paper? I don't understand. And there were people in line buying like a lot of flour, and I was like, what's about to happen? Like, are we not going to buy flour? What's going on here?
Well, because if you have, if the stores close, you can make a lot of things with flour, and so that's what I did. I went, go ahead.
This is a survival food. So if you have seed, you have food, because this is a complete protein. It has all of the vitamins, minerals. It's like eating a multivitamin. Your kids would love to do that, Evelyn.
Yeah.
She didn't see you talk about it at the beginning. She has sprouts, and I told her to make a video about it.
So I have an old school class on this too.
Oh.
So it's seed. Oh, that's right. So I have a computer that my laptop, if I touch that screen, it will go wacko. So I have an external camera right here. So that's why you see me at an angle. But anyway, this is sprouted seeds. So by the time these are done sprouting, they will be up to here. And so you have an amazing salad.
Yeah.
And it's, here's my favorite part about bread. Punching it. I love doing that.
Oh, yeah. And so, Luann, you are gluten intolerant. Is that what it is? Is it you or someone in your family? Okay.
I am, and both of my kids are. My husband is not.
So does that mean but you can touch, obviously you can touch it, but you can't eat it?
I get like this, it's kind of hard to explain, but I get a really foggy head, and it a lot of stomach distress when we eat gluten. And my daughter's type 1 diabetic, and it's kind of connected with type 1 diabetic and celiac.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I have a friend that about like 5 members of her family have celiac.
There's a genetic component to it. Mm-hmm. And I think my mom is probably the one that kind of began, because my mom has always had stomach distress.
It's hard to live with.
Do you think it has something to do with the food that we have, like the stuff that we have in our food nowadays?
Well, I saw a study about that, and so what they did was they took the blood from. They took the blood from military people that was still on. They had it. I don't know. They saved blood apparently. But anyways, they took the blood and they compared their blood and how it reacted to the wheat from back in the day to the wheat today. And it is not the same. I don't remember the details how it turned out. It's a really famous study for celiac. But so if you have the sample,
So I'm gonna make I have my cone and I'm gonna spray it. Oh, you also need a cookie sheet to put this on.
Okay, I have my cookie sheet.
So I do have the Pampered Chef stoneware. That's usually what I use. This is
a very well seasoned Pampered Chef.
Wow, awesome. Yeah.
Years.
Mine isn't quite as black as yours, but it is pretty good. It's just
there you go.
This is the stoneware, Evelyn. That remember she was saying the stoneware.
I didn't know the stoneware changed the color over time. That's
yeah, and
yeah,
when
they call
it. You want to season it, and as you use it, it gets blacker and blacker and blacker. Then, as it's seasoned, things don't really stick to it. It's amazing,
right? So you don't have to keep like putting stuff on it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna spray mine.
I saw that
you want to make sure
the stoneware. I just didn't know because I'm never used to it.
Well, they don't have it now. They don't have it like it's the factory. She said something happened to the factory or something that was making it like it burned down or something. I don't know, something really tragic. So yeah, so now at this point I just start, what I do is I just cut strips like this.
Okay.
And just kind of put the strips around gently, kind of just like, you're wrapping it up like a mummy.
That's what I'm thinking. It's a mummy.
And then, you can.
What I did with the parchment paper. We'll see if it works.
Yeah, that's great. That's an awesome idea. I didn't even think of that. It's probably, well, I was going to say it's better for you, but most likely you're not eating this anyway.
Yeah, we're not eating it.
I think parchment paper would definitely work. So yeah, you could even use pizza dough for this. Like you can use any kind of dough. It's really not particular. Like I said, last time, like in the video that I made last year, I used a wheat flour and I thought it had a really good consistency to it for the cone. I usually start at the bottom end and then end up at the top end.
Okay.
I think it's easier because it is a little awkward kind of, and it doesn't completely stick, so you kind of have to pinch it. I don't know. I just don't want mine to get stuck.
I'm going to use a scissor. We're not eating it.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. I've never gotten, I used to sell Pampered Chef actually. Before I worked for VIP Kid, I sold Pampered Chef.
I signed up for it once and because I wanted the product, and then I tried it, but I'm not good at selling things.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work, and I actually did good. I did it for 2 years. I had some bills to pay off, and I made enough money for that.
Nice.
And but I just kept hating it because I'm like, I can't keep buying all this stuff. I'm not making any money. Like the whole point of doing this is to make money, not to fill my kitchen with kitchen supplies, even though I loved everything.
Yeah.
There's only so much room you can handle putting on, or filling it up.
They have the best can opener back in the day. Whoa,
yeah. They have a newer version. It's not quite as good as the older one, I don't think.
Yeah, I saw that newer version because I needed a can opener and I thought about it, and then I saw that it changed, and
it does work the same way. Like it gets your cover off without the really sharp sides, which I really like that. If you want to reuse your cans for something. But as far as opening cans, it's not as good as the old one. But that's nowadays, that's just the norm. So like I just try to keep putting it on, and yeah, you just roll it on like one strip at a time and just kind of pinch it on. And it kind of like, it does come undone a little bit, and you just kind of keep pressing it. And like when I've done this with my students, what I've done is I will, because I have them in classes, like 2 classes a week. So one class will watch a video on how to do it. And so they'll have in their mind what they're actually doing. And then the next class, it'll take about a good 45 minutes to put the thing together, at least. And you know, sometimes some kids just throw it together. Other times kids really take their time and make it look like art.
Yeah, you can put leaves on it, all kinds of things.
Yeah. You know, it's like anything else. The more times you do it, the better you get at it. I think mine's kind of a little narrow. This one's a little narrower.
The parchment paper is not working the greatest, just so you know.
Oh, really?
Well, because it's slippery, but let's see. I'll keep trying.
Okay.
But I also don't have a hard thing underneath it like you do.
Oh, okay.
Other than tinfoil.
So like I said, as long as you get this kind of wrapped up, then you let it sit. It's going to rise. So those holes, you think, oh, I've got all these holes in it. But once you let it rise, it's going to fill in. Okay. And then when you cook it, it rises a little more even. So it's a lot puffier. You know, think about when you make your bread dough, it's just small. And then when you bake it, it's fluffy. So it's going to fluff up.
Okay.
So it definitely looks completely different than when it's raw dough. Trust me.
Okay. I guess you do just pinch it once you get up there. You just pinch it and then it'll stay together.
Yeah. And then when I start getting toward the front, then I start thinking about, you know, I only have how much dough left. You know, you kind of plan when you have a certain amount of dough left, then you can start making something to make it look cool. Okay. Like sometimes I'll do like a braid, or I'll cut out leaves or like berries. So are you guys staying home for Thanksgiving?
Yep. And then I wasn't even thinking about it, and I agreed to like those priority bookings for Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't even thinking about it. You know what's really hard is when you're doing this out school, you want to really focus on the out school. And I'm not a morning person. And so it just like I'm trying to get myself, it's hard for me to decline classes, like trying to take off Thursday so that I can focus on just out school. So I've done that now. Monday was my day off, but then instead I decided to do out school on Mondays because I have time off. So Monday is, but now I think I'm gonna, because I think I can, now that I've got like all these brain classes kind of on a roll, I think I'm going to focus Mondays and Thursdays now. How do you, because, you know, I'm not, it's like I get like this tiredness because I'm not naturally a morning person. It's like, I feel like I'm always half asleep.
Yeah. Oh, yours is looking good. Well, I have a pretty regular schedule for VIP Kid, but I really want to get going with the out school, but I don't have a vision like you do. I've been doing like home ec classes. I have knitting classes. I have some cooking classes. I had a pet sharing class. And so I put all those classes on, but I've gotten like up to 60 something followers.
That's great.
But I think they're more like, most of them want to do knitting. So I would really like to, like, most of my knitting are for like beginners. So I'd really like to get a club going where we can like say we'll make a scarf and we'll work on it, you know, on a regular ongoing basis, you know?
Yeah.
Because knitting is something you don't really get that good at unless you really stick with it,
Yeah.
you know?
Definitely.
So I'm actually working on upping my thumbnails and just kind of refining my descriptions to my classes and that kind of thing. But I would like to teach reading, but I don't know what curriculum I would use. I'm a little stumped on that.
Well, I
So I
thought
would
about
like to
that
do,
too, because it's an ongoing, people do it
yeah,
ongoing. So I thought about
yeah.
that. And I think what you have to do is kind of make your own stories.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't know if I'm that creative.
So basically, I'll just talk to you direct. So basically what I think, if I was doing it, which I might do, I think I would like to stick with my experience, like mental health. And
Yeah.
stories, well, one of the classes that I have is called Sticky Situations. And it's, people don't really realize that you need boundaries in life, you know? So, you know, you have all these kids that are, you know, bullied and things like that.
Yeah.
And so they don't even know that there is such a thing. So Sticky Situations is, what I do is I teach what boundaries are, and then I write stories, and then they have to see which boundaries are being crossed. So basically you're writing a story. So basically you could write a story. You know, so if I was
pick a topic
to do reading, you know, actually you can use real life experiences, because all of the stories that I had are life experiences. So you could use real experiences and put it in a story, change the names because, you know.
But then you have to you write a story. You have to make sure you use the little kid words. And you have to make your worksheets, plan games. I mean, that's a lot of preparation.
And now worksheets are really simple. Worksheets are really simple in Canva. And I don't know if you've, you know, explored Canva. I think you said you have. Yeah, because your thumbnails are Canva thumbnails.
Yeah.
So if you once you get a worksheet that you're happy with, you can continue with that. So with my brain classes, I make worksheets. So then, you know, we identify the different parts of the brain, and when we're using our senses, where is it firing up inside of that, you know, that noggin of ours.
Wow.
So, you know, but all those worksheets I made in Canva, and they actually have brain diagrams so that I can just, they have so much in there.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So
do you, what ages do you teach?
Well, actually I teach 8 to 12. No, 7 to.
Oh, that's right. I was looking at your stuff.
Yeah. Idea switching it, because I can make it higher level and lower level, and I can even make it an adult level. So So
that's awesome.
I've worked with adults, children, you know, whatever. So I'm at the point where I have the actual, so it starts out with the incredible brain, and then it goes up to all the different 5 senses. What is happening when, like today, my classes were, so I have the private classes, and I do the same thing in the private classes. Here, they're heavy, aren't they? There you go. Here.
Oh, good. Yeah.
There.
I love it. Yeah. It's going to look really pretty. Yeah. So you can go ahead. I just wanted you go ahead and you can finish your.
Oh no, it's.
I think that is really great. That's a great idea for the out school. And
it's actually my daughter's the one that said, Mom, I was doing all these things when I was going to do a class about eagles. I think eagles are really cool, but my daughter.
Eagles are cool.
What? They are cool, but I told her, I said, I think I'm going to do a class about eagles. And she's like, Mom, why don't you just do what you do good? And then then she's the one that, you know, kind of said, yeah, why don't I do that? That's really what I do good. That's what I'm passionate about. And so, and
I've seen a lot of, I've seen a lot of requests. I read the parent requests, and they're asking for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, Yeah.
And the thing is how do you get it seen? That's the other thing. So
I'm working on like trying to make thumbnails that look really cool. And I'm working on I'm doing the Nancy Taylor course, and I'm also doing the other course. So I'm really trying to, it's really hard because I see these talented teachers, and I'm like,
so are you.
Yeah, that's what you keep saying, but keep saying it because it'll catch
you
on.
Tell me how to do a cornucopia.
Yeah, it is really fun. And that's the thing, like I could teach other classes. Rebecca says she taught some good classes today on OutSchool, my ongoing math games class for K1, and then a thankfulness turkey placement color and chat class. Both of them were almost full. Good job. I opened up a class, Write Grandma a Letter. And this morning I thought, I was just thinking like Sunday, maybe people will, look at the website and they'll be interested in it and kind of, we'll see some bookings or something. And I didn't really see much response, but like this morning I didn't see anything. But then this afternoon I got a couple bookings for a knitting class. And I noticed I got a lot of likes today. Like all of my classes got likes today.
Oh.
I'm just trying to look to see where my, so I made a logo today. This is my logo. It says Cindy B on it.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to try to put all of my classes like with a similar font to it or similar like thumbnail kind of thing, even though, and I just feel like I love home ec, like for some reason, and I could go out. That's
what you should do.
Yeah. So maybe I could even do reading with home ec classes. I don't know. Maybe I could combine those like you did with the mental health.
I have actually an idea.
This is a new thumbnail that I made today. I thought was really cool. I kind of like it, if I do say so myself.
Oh, that is adorable.
First knitting class.
Yeah, that's awesome. So that's
I learned some new things.
In Canva then?
Yeah, so I learned how to. Oh, this is my kitten camp.
Okay, so now that is an adorable picture. I love it. So kitten camp, what is that? Is it where kids bring?
So I just made it for like the holidays. I'm gonna do 2 days of like they can share their kittens, and I said they could even bring a stuffed animal. And we have a kitten, so I'll be able to show them a kitten, and we'll do kitten story, kitten craft, and a kitten, all about kittens. And I'll wear my kitten ears. I just figured there might be some kids that love kittens, right?
A lot of the VIP kid students love kittens. Everybody loves cats.
I know. And we just got a kitten, and it's this tiny. So I figured, they can bring their stuffed animals if they want to, and we'll just talk about kittens and meow like kittens.
This is wet and dirty.
Oh, yes.
But this is a fabric that's kind of a nylon. This is the best scrubby ever. Remember, I mentioned it to you.
Yeah.
These are the best. And you can make it so that it poofs up into a circle. I don't know where mine went, but it's an actual scrubby.
Okay. And so did you knit that or crochet?
This one I crocheted. And then this one also.
Oh, nice. Yep.
Yeah. So
I was really discouraged this morning, but then this afternoon, I'm like, every single one of my classes got a like or, but my knitting classes are the most. I have the most like saves for all of the knitting. So I figured that should be where I kind of focus on. So I figured I would really like to, like most of I started that as a one-time class. So I want to make them more like ongoing classes.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm hearing is the key. So same with me. I'm thinking now that I have an ongoing class private, I don't know if I have to turn it in for a whole nother class. No, I don't think so. I can automatically just do an ongoing class and then just make it.
Yeah, because just put it on private. Yeah.
Well, now I do in private, but I can just offer it public and then offer it with more students. Yeah, so I guess I'm already set up to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just have one more to make.
So I've noticed, I mean, I put up a few classes on Saturday and they were like almost instantly accepted. I'm like, that's kind of good, but it's kind of bad. That means everybody else is getting accepted easily too. So that means they're getting flooded. But like when I looked at the list of parent requested classes, some of them were like, one of them was knitting, easy knitting for little kids. And I'm like, I don't know if you can like somehow communicate with the parent, hey, I have a class like that. There was a knitting class. There were other classes that, I mean, I felt like I already had going, like a bread making class.
I saw them and I thought of you when I saw them, and it's like, too bad you can't say, hey, how about me? But that's the thing. How do you get noticed? That's my question. Like, you know, whoever takes those classes, the brain classes, they like them and then they keep taking the different ones. But how do you get noticed? So I think you talked in this one where, so there's two different trains of thought. So it's like, you don't offer so many because you don't want to have one, you know. So basically I'm kind of like not really putting them out there. I just put one here, one here, one here, one here, you know, with no strategy. So, but
yeah, me too.
So I just random. Oh, I think I'll put one here. I think I'll put one here. There's got to be a strategy to when to do it.
I know. Well, I did hear somebody was saying, I think it was Kelly, during one of my lives. She said that if you have 3 of the same, they bump it up. So if you offer 3 of the same class, they bump it up. So you might want to message her and see what she means by that, or ask in the group and see what she means by that. But I think it's, you know, like, and the other thing is like a search, like what would parents be searching for, and try to put that in your title.
Yeah.
You know,
that's
and make
thing,
it simple.
Like words, you know, like you have your title. Mine is called The Incredible Brain in the sense of, we'll say, smell. And then it's a series of The Incredible Brain and whatever it is. And I mean, I don't know if that's a good, that's another question, you know, how do you get it, you know, in searches? How do you get it, you know, how does it become found?
Well, and the other thing is, like, I thought yours could be a series, like it could be an ongoing science class about like your body or something. But if they don't sign up the first day, what do you do then? Like, do you just keep it up there and wait for people to join it? Or do you try for another? It's just a really confusing way to figure it out, you know? But then I read that Marianne had like 130 something students per week. I'm like, how do you do it?
Yeah, how do you do that?
And obviously people flock to her, but
I think it's because they have
everybody's experiencing.
I think it's core classes that are really the ones that are booking. So I wouldn't consider mine a core class, you know, and I suppose knitting wouldn't be a core class either. So, you know, and I thought about that. Should I put my brain class in science? Because I don't. I have it in wellness, I think. Health and wellness.
Yeah, put it in science. I bet you that would go in science.
Yeah, because that is science.
Yeah. It is science. You could maybe even do it. I wonder if you could put it in both.
No, there's only an option for one. So I tried it in health and wellness. Then I moved over into, there's another category. I forget what it is. But then I've been thinking
life skills.
Yeah, life skills. I moved it into life skills. And then I read that if it's, you know, social skills, things like that, it should go into life or wellness. So I moved it back into that. And I thought maybe I should try science because that's a core, you know, about the brain.
It is. Yeah.
So,
yeah. That's really good. I really like that.
Yeah.
I think that's really good. I think that, you know, lots of kids like that kind of stuff.
I have a really good idea for you. I actually was going to do this as a class, but chances are I won't do it. And it's really cool. And I made it. It's actually, it's a craft, and it's right up your line, but I don't want to put it online here. I'll have to show it to you.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All
but
right.
I think I can hand it right on to you
good.
instead. I think you would be, I mean, I could hang on to it and just not do it, or you could do it. And I think it'd be a really popular class because I made it. It's really cool. So maybe we'll do it.
Well,
I can show it to you.
Okay, great. That would be great. So what do you think? Are you all done?
Yeah, I'm done.
All done, and you're gonna. Okay, so we're gonna let it sit on the counter for about an hour.
Okay.
Then we're going to give it an egg wash. So for the egg wash, I usually take an egg, for the sake of those watching, take an egg and maybe a little bit of water and kind of just like swish that around in a bowl. And then I take my little, you know, base, what do you call that thing?
A baster?
Like, this is a Pampered Chef thing too. This is a little, just take this thing and you just kind of brush it on the top.
Okay.
And then you're going to cook it for about at 400 for about 45 minutes or so.
Okay.
And then just check it, make sure it's golden brown, and you should be good to go. Yeah. So thank you. And then make sure you send me a photo.
I'll send you a photo. There we go. I'll tell you how it comes out. It should come out with that hard paper. It was a little hard. So yeah, probably. Yeah. You know, I didn't have that hard stuff underneath there, but I think
it's a little awkward. You got to plan time to do it. Like, it's not like just throw it together. It takes a little bit of, you know, creativity. So what are you going to put in it, do you think?
Well, actually, while I was looking, I saw some acorn rolls so they look like acorns, so they would be pretty coming out of it. So I think that would be good. And I'll be making Thanksgiving, so I'll just use this as a centerpiece and then throw it to the birds.
Yeah. And you could also like make a bread dip. You know, some people like those bread dips where it's like butter and garlic and spices, and that's really good too.
Yeah, well, you know, I forgot. So I do gluten-free, and I was going to make this gluten-free, but I didn't know if it would turn out right.
Oh, that's not gluten-free. Okay.
No, we can't.
I thought you were. It was.
Oh, my husband could eat it, but I do have gluten.
But are the acorn rolls gluten-free?
Yeah, they'll be gluten-free.
Okay.
And so baking gluten-free is really complicated. You know, I used to make bread, like I said, when in that, I lost my bread machine. I don't know what happened to it. I think I gave it away. Oh. Because after we found out we were gluten-free, it was harder to make, you know, it's hard to get bread to turn out right. But they make so many good mixes of gluten-free flour nowadays. So it's 1-to-1 now. I just got some. So I think I'm going to make some gluten-free. I'm going to start just the same recipe I did here. I think I'm going to try it with gluten-free bread. So, or gluten-free flour and see how it works out. Because gluten-free flour, I'm not sure. I don't know if you know, but usually when you make a bread, it's rock hard. It usually doesn't taste
Okay.
It doesn't have that gluten, that poofiness, that consistency.
Now, what about, have you ever heard of like the sourdough bread, or like I've heard that that's good, okay for gluten-free people? Maybe not. I don't know.
No, I've actually heard that, and there are a lot of studies about that. I haven't tried it, but
because I have some of that starter, like it's like a you know, it's like a sourdough starter thing, and you feed it. And I've heard that when you make bread with that, it kind of like neutralizes the gluten or something. Yeah. And it's better for you. It's better for you, like health-wise, weight-wise, and gluten. But my friend that I learned the Cornucopia from, I think she has like 8 kids, and every kid has some other problem with some food allergy. So she's like a genius when it comes to food allergies.
Well, that's just it. In my house, we have so many issues when it comes. Well, you have diabetes, and so food. Once we found out that she was diabetic, everything changed in our house. I mean, no sugar. We don't really use sugar. I can use honey for this when I make the bread. But everything just changed, even when it comes to using yeast, you got to use sugar, some sugar. Well,
right.
Bread turns to sugar. Everything turns to sugar. It just is as a rate, when it comes to the body. So that's another thing I did without school. There was somebody requesting a type 1 diabetic club.
Wow.
I put that in. It's sitting there. It got declined. But that's when I didn't know how to do clubs. I didn't do it right. So I just haven't gone back to it. I've been busy with my brain classes. I haven't.
That's awesome though. Yeah, I'm really glad that you're doing that. That's why, like, when I looked at it, I thought I might. My son is almost 13, so I thought he would probably like a class with more older.
Well, that's good. That's good to know that. So yeah. So if it's so broad, you've got the little ones, and then you've got, so if I do it, age.
And if you have kids that like are similar in age, like say you have they're 12, 13, and 14 or so, if they're in the same class, then they look forward to seeing each other. So that's another way to draw the kids together. Like you have the class, but then they're like, oh, who's going to be there? Is so-and-so going to be there? That's part of the experience as well. They want to see other kids their age and stuff.
So 12, 13, and 14 would be a good age group.
I think that would be a good age group. Yeah.
It's nice because then you can, you can talk at a higher level. So, I mean, you have to talk.
And it's amazing. Like the kids that I've had, like the knitting kids, they love to knit. Like I had boys in there, and like I had this one boy for 4 weeks in a row. And every time at the beginning of class, he had this long, and it was just finger knitting like this. Yeah. And we made crafts with finger knitting, and he's like knitting. He's got like all these things all over the living room. Like he was awesome. So that's what I love about it.
So let me tell you something. Back in the day when I used to work at in this one crisis home, I started a knitting club, and we had a lot of programs. So I started a knitting club, but what we used is the knitting loom.
Right. Yes, so I've seen those.
Here's what we did. So I had it where all the guys girls would come to one specific place, and all these guys would be sitting there knitting with their knitting looms. And it was really funny. I mean, it was really cool. They actually really got into it because, you're doing manual things. Guys like manual things. Watching their hats build. So we made hats. So we kept making hats. So we had so many hats. We decided that we were going to make as many hats as we could and bring them to the homeless. So that is what we did. So we had a grocery bag full of hats and scarves that these guys made. Guys and girls,
that's great.
But we would have a social time, and we would knit hats. We make a baked good, and they would just have social time.
That's great.
Yeah, so that
is really great.
Knitting loom, those are amazing.
Yeah.
Have you used one?
Yeah, I have had them. I bought them for my daughter, but they never really took off. They never did it. But they also have one that you can crank, and you can make stuff that way too. I was thinking of getting one. I had one before. When you talk to your computer, it knows what you want. So I've seen it come up on my ads.
They're listening to you. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, look at that. I was just talking about it. Wait a second.
I know.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, we joke around about that. We talk about strange things, and both of us the same day, like the same thing popped up on both of ours. We were talking on the phone, but the computer was there, so it was listening. Yeah, it seems wrong. Yeah,
that's probably how I got onto VIP Kid too, because it probably knew I was looking for a job. So
maybe.
I need extra money. Oh, here.
It's kind of handy, but it's just kind of
It work. Yeah, it's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
We're being watched, you know.
Yeah.
Weird
Yeah.
world.
True. Like who is it? Who is I don't know. So anyway, well, thank you so much. And I'm really glad that you did this with me. It was really fun.
Yeah, it was
and
fun.
I hope those of you who are watching and you get to try it. And if you do try it, let me know. Come back to the video, post in the comments. And I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So have a great Thanksgiving. Thank you, Luann.
Yeah.
I'll see you around.
I'll see you around.
Okay.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.